Hi everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. Today I'll be doing another retro season review as part of my retro season review series. I've done quite a few now, there's a playlist, go and check it out. But tonight, the video I'm going to be doing is the Cronulla-Sutherland Sharks 1988 season review. Just a bit of background going into this year for Cronulla. The club was founded in 1967 and previous to the 1988 season, the club had only made the finals 4 times, in 1973, 1978, 79 and 81. What's really interesting with Cronulla is the first 2 times that they qualified for the finals, they made the grand final, and I think there's not too many clubs out there that could boast that record. Besides those 4 finals appearances though for the club, it was a very lean time the first 20 or so years for Cronulla. However, I think comparing them to Penrith that were also coming in 1967, I think that they were doing a lot better at that stage. With Penrith, it took them nearly 20 years to make their first final series. So going into the 1988 season, the year before, Cronulla had finished 7th on the table. And back in those days, it were a top 5 final series, not a top 8 final series. In 1988, the club were head coached by Alan Fitzgibbon. The captain were David Hatch. The highest attended game that they had at home was 18,111 people that watched them play against rival St George in round 22. The average home crowd for the year were 9,789 people. The top point scorer for the year were Alan Wilson with 171 points, and E.T. Andrew Eddingshausen, he got 17 tries for the year to be the club's top try scorer. The club finished the 1988 regular season as the minor premiers, the first time in the club's history that they managed to achieve that. They played 22 matches, 16 wins, 2 draws and 4 losses. They had the 3rd best attack in the league with 507 points scored, and they also had the 3rd best defence in the league. Starting the 1988 season, however, though, Cronulla started quite poorly. Between round 1 to round 6, the club only won the 1 match, and that were against the newly admitted Gold Coast Tweed Giants club. They were also knocked out of the Panasonic Cup, which was the midweek competition back then. Used to be known by a couple of different names, Amco Cup, Toos Cup, all that. They were defeated by South Sydney in the quarterfinals, so they were knocked out of that in amongst of all those losses in the early part of the year. However, after that point, the club really turned it around, and between round 6 to round 22, the club only lost the 1 game, and we can all pretty much guess who that were against. Manly-Warringah, Battle of the Beaches. It's just something about Manly beating Cronulla and Cronulla having a poor record against Manly. In round 10, Manly-Warringah beat Cronulla 44 points to 30 in a very high scoring game. Heading into the finals, Cronulla were on a 12-game win streak, and it looked like they were going to win their first premiership since coming into the competition in 1967. They were the bookmakers' favourites to take it out. In the opening week of the finals, in the qualifying final, they played against Canterbury Bankstown, who were coached by Phil Gould at the time, and this match was played at the Sydney Football Stadium. Cronulla, however, they would lose the match 26 points to 8. Although Cronulla lost against Canterbury in the opening week of the finals, back then, because it were top 5, things were different, and it's a lot different to how we see things nowadays in the finals. So even though they lost, they were booked a place in the preliminary final. Their opponent for the preliminary final were Balmain, who were also on a great run of form. They'd won about 6 or 7 matches in a row to reach the preliminary final. And you also had the likes of Ellery Hanley in their squad, who were playing amazing rugby at the time. In front of just over 31,000 fans at the Sydney Football Stadium. However, for Cronulla, it weren't a very happy day for them. They were beaten 9 points to 2 by Balmain. They were held trialless, and it ended the season on a very disappointing note, because going into that final series, Cronulla were probably the bookmakers' favourites to make the grand final and take out the premiership, and they didn't even make the grand final. And it also started a bit of a hoodoo with Cronulla and the Sydney Football Stadium, the old one. If you go down through the ages, Cronulla had a very unhappy time playing finals matches at the Sydney Football Stadium. I don't think that they won too many, and they started their 2 opening finals matches at the SFS with losses. And even with the new SFS that's been constructed, they started that finals campaign with a loss against South Sydney. Although the club did not meet the grand final, there were some very good success stories with the players involved with the Cronulla squad in 1988. Gavin Miller won the Dally M and Barry Russell won the Rothmans medal. So both Cronulla players took out the two highest honours that you can win as an individual player in rugby league, in the New South Wales Rugby League back then. And also for New South Wales, Jonathan Dockin was picked at fullback for New South Wales from Cronulla. Mark McGaw, Sparkles, was also picked for New South Wales. And of course, Andrew Eddingshausen was selected. For some reason, Gavin Miller was not selected for New South Wales. Very New South Wales thing to happen. If he were a Queenslander, he would have been the first person picked probably. And at the end of the year for the Australian side, Andrew Eddingshausen was selected for the first time. Mark McGaw was selected and Gavin Miller was selected for Australia. So he weren't picked for New South Wales as the Dally M winner, but he were picked for Australia. Figure that one out. Following on from the 1988 season where Cronulla were minor premiers, the club could not build on what they'd done in the season, and it wouldn't be until 1995 that the club would make the finals again. And for Cronulla fans, it looked like 1988 were going to be the year. I did a retro season review for the 99 season. It looked like 99, they were going to finally win their first premiership. But luckily for you Cronulla fans, you finally got it done in 2016. You got that premiership. So all those years of hate from 1988, 99 and the other seasons were all washed away with that 2016 premiership victory. So that concludes my video on the Cronulla-Sutherland Sharks 1988 retro season review. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know which club you'd like me to do next for the retro season reviews. I mean, there's tons of years I can do, and I've had a few suggestions, but just keep those suggestions coming in. Anyways, this has been Rugby League History, and I'll catch us all later in the next video. Alright, tatty bye for now.